What do you think it is?
What does it sound like to you?
In the sky like search you with a knife. Edges running wild like legs of a giraffe. Meandering the bloody wall they could have. Stirring the clutches of their own lives. Their own hopes. Significant lives. Significant strides. Never to be found. They were torn my lives.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 4th episode of The Howling, the official podcast of Hounds of Innsmouth. I'm Ariel Feist, vocalist, singer of the band. Joining me today is Megan, my girlfriend.
That's me.
We did already sort of record some of this episode, but there were various complications with that episode. One being that we were both freaking tired as hell and not very clear of our mind. So we'd just gotten back from going to the park and playing catch and frisbee and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I was pretty exhausted. And
That was
then
fun.
we had a couple distractions occur, one of which included a dog, another included a Danny, and then another included a John, who was very upset about having yogurt spit in his face. So, decided to scrap that episode and just come back calm, cool, and collect after having dinner.
Yep.
Chilling with a couple beers. We're drinking Anchor Steam today, and unfortunately, these aren't good Anchor Steams. Normally, I like Anchor
The
Steam.
porter's not bad.
The porter's fine, actually. I enjoy it. It's kind of got a strong taste at the beginning, but it grows on you a bit.
It
But
wasn't anything compared to the beer we had for dinner.
yeah,
That was pretty good.
that was pretty good.
It was the best part of dinner.
We ate at a pizzeria,
I don't know what the fuck it's called.
Delfina or something like that.
Yeah.
In Burlingame. It's a pizzeria that's got its head up its own ass.
Mm-hmm.
Much like any place on Burlingame Avenue. The food was fine. I don't think I'll eat there again unless invited.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just, I don't know, a lot of the restaurants down in Burlingame Ad, the food's okay, but I feel like I'm paying $10 extra for food that I can get much better elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, maybe the tables aren't as clean or the atmosphere isn't as eclectic, doesn't have wooden tables or whatever, but god damn it, I'm gonna get a nice fucking burrito that's gonna fill me up for only $7 as
Yeah.
opposed to 17. I don't know what the bill was because your mom snatched that thing off the table real quick, but I'm sure it wasn't cheap.
I don't believe it. It wasn't on the table. The server just came by and handed it to her. She was standing up.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we all had their beers, which were definitely tasty. I had a porter there, and it was quite delicious.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Heretic. I don't know which brewing company it
I'll
was,
look it up.
but Heretic was good. Your mom got the triple from Boontown, I think it was. And that was pretty good too. That was like a red ale. It's like pretty much the Jeremiah Red, the only beer that I get from frickin' BJ's that I think is any
yeah.
good anymore. Because when BJ's first showed up in the area, I remember going there and really liking the stout and porter. And then I guess they changed their recipe around or something. Maybe they weren't frickin' letting it stay in the copper tins long enough or something. Because that beer started to taste real foul. And Jeremiah Red is pretty much the only one that tastes normal to me anymore. Now they have seasonals, though, too.
I don't know what one you had because I don't know if this is it, but I think it's just Heretic Brewing Company.
Yeah, maybe. It was
No.
the porter.
I
so.
mean, I don't know. Let's see. Shallow Grave Porter. Was that
No,
a thing? No?
no.
Okay.
Not that I recall, but maybe it was. Regardless, if you're ever in Burlingame and you feel like good beer and don't feel like having mediocre pizza, just order the beer at Pizzeria Delfina and just get either the Heretic or the triple. Both are delicious.
Oh, I had a good thing.
Yeah, what
I
did
don't
you
remember
have?
the hell what it was called.
It was the mixture, though,
Yeah,
right?
it was like a mixture of the Hefe and lemonade. It was really good, actually.
It's not the first time I've heard of... I think I've actually ordered a drink where a Hefeweizen was mixed with a lemonade. And those
It
tend,
makes sense.
Yeah, those tend to work pretty well together, so... It's good for a hot summer day.
Yeah, which it
Essentially.
was. Because we had the sun beating down on us.
Yep. Tasted pretty nice.
I liked it.
But right now we are not drinking those delicious beers. We are drinking Anchor Steam, which I normally like. I like the regular just Anchor Steam, whichever one's the most popular. I don't know what type of beer it is, but it's the one you see in most liquor stores. And I'm drinking the porter, and Megan has taken on the ever painful task of drinking Old Foghorn, the barley wine style ale. It tastes disgusting.
It's really bad.
Like everybody in this house, except for our bassist Vince, he seems to be the only devil's advocate of this beer, but I don't like it. It's got a very distinct and unpleasant taste. We're actually drinking some Bullet rye whiskey to cover up the flavor. Who would have thought that whiskey would be your chaser to bad beer?
Pretty good.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we just got back from dinner in Burlingame. Not as eventful of a day as Sunday was when we were trying to record this the first time.
I don't know. John's still at home.
That's true. He may come through the door and somebody will have spit like ice cream in his face this time or something.
How about some salsa?
Yeah, salsa.
You should make more of that.
I made some salsa on
Oh
Sunday.
my god, it was so good.
Everybody seemed to enjoy it.
Oh, make more of that.
Get me the ingredients.
What are the ingredients?
Tomatoes, jalapenos, garlic.
We don't have that big thing of jalapenos?
Still in the refrigerator.
Okay, so I don't need to get those.
Right. I just need fresh tomatoes more than anything else.
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna go get fresh tomatoes tomorrow.
Alright.
Alright.
That's the main thing that made that way better than most other salsas I've made. Because of the fact that since the tomatoes
Oh,
were...
fuck. Uh-huh.
Yeah, you gotta really take a breath before you drink that beer, huh?
I forgot. I forgot for a second what I was drinking. And
Well,
I almost
it's
put
okay.
it up to my lips and was
You-
like, oh shit!
You still got a little bit
No,
of
I
whiskey
know,
left.
I've been saving it. I've been trying to take really long sips so that, like, more gets in and I don't have to keep going back to it. But it's not really working because it's still full.
You should just chug the beer and then chase it with the whiskey.
I mean, I don't really want to chug it because that means I have to, like, put my tongue back on it. I don't know how to describe it. Like, if I just... I don't know.
I believe in you. Yeah, for that salsa, all I need is tomatoes. Because I have the limes, the garlic, the jalapenos.
How many? Like 2?
I used 3 for that batch.
How do I pick tomatoes? I just squeeze them? Ooh.
Oh, this will be a learning lesson for you when you go grocery shopping.
Well, I don't usually buy tomatoes because I don't want them for anything. Except for fucking salsa now. God damn, you need to make that in like a vat.
Yeah, clearly, because it was
Oh, and we
very
need chips
popular.
too, right?
Yeah, we'll need more chips.
I got
That
you.
that bag of chips went just as quickly as the salsa.
Well, yeah, blue corn tortilla chips. They're delicious.
I don't know what types of tomatoes they were, like the actual names,
Wait,
but
there's different. I mean, I know there's like cherry tomatoes, but
yeah.
as far as like big tomatoes, there's different ones.
I didn't get like the regular ones that you normally see. Like when I went to Fresh and Easy, they were the kind of
Round?
round, more cylindrical shaped.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But I mean, it doesn't really matter so long as it's a tomato and it tastes like a tomato and it has the juice.
Well, I don't know if it's gonna do those things. I can't really test it out in the grocery aisle.
Just throw one at a kid.
Oh, okay.
You'll be able to tell. If the kid goes down, then
It's good.
It's good. If the kid, is still standing, then that means that tomato is probably rotten and not firm enough.
Yeah.
But the main thing is the tomatoes that made that way better. Because I've used canned tomatoes in the past,
Well, yeah.
and it still tastes good, but like the juice and the freshness and stuff makes all the difference.
Juice.
And lime. Lime
Yeah.
makes a big difference. But yeah. And fresh cilantro. Like the cilantro we have is dying. So you may need to get more of that if you
Oh
want it to
man,
taste better.
I have to pick out cilantro too.
Yeah.
This was already like.
It's becoming your quest through Mordor here.
I mean, I was already taking a lot of responsibility by getting tomatoes.
Mm-hmm. Whatever will you do having to shop like an adult?
Just have you keep making salsa.
Yeah, well, you provide the resources. I'll provide the pulsing on the food processor, because that's all it fucking is.
No, but you
Alright.
like know how much.
We just gave away like all these details
Oops.
about where you work. I edited those out. Sorry.
Whatever.
Sorry, internet. We like you guys, but we don't want you to know too much.
You know, when I'm getting paid PewDiePie money, and people will start recognizing me on the street, it will become an unavoidable effect of where I work.
It's true. And where you live, probably, too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've already established that Hounds of Innsmouth is a Bay Area local band. Local to San Francisco Bay Area, we play metal. Coming to your town eventually. We play shows around here, but
Sure, I had to work.
how are the Giants doing right now?
We're still ahead.
Yeah?
It's 5-0. I just said oh fuck because I keep forgetting what the hell I have in my hand, and I keep wanting to sip out of it and be like, delicious beer.
Never mind. Well, I mean, by now some of those beers that I put in there are cold, but I mean, you don't really like Lagunitas, but maybe you will now, after sucking down this thing.
Blah.
So, this past week, since we're pretty much re-recording this podcast and have a much clearer mind about what's going on for a change, I'll just say kind of the same stuff that we mentioned before, but the internet didn't get to hear, which is that Hounds of Innsmouth played a show on Friday. It was alright.
Yep.
Played a show at Bobby D's in Redwood City, right off of El Camino, like 2 blocks, I think. I forget what the cross street is.
Of what?
El Camino.
It's well, it's not off of El Camino.
Right, it's like 2 blocks away from it.
Yeah. So I think it's oh, crap.
Whatever. The internet's got Google Maps.
Doesn't matter.
They can look it up.
Nobody's gonna look it up.
They should.
Like, comment, and subscribe if you looked it up.
Yeah, we played a show there. Brought to you by Carlos Danger and Zeal. Carlos Danger is another band in the area. A bunch of friends in that band. I enjoy listening to them, even though they play a lot of Iron Maiden songs.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of those, even though I'm a metalhead. Oh no, blasphemy. Who cares? Iron Maiden, overrated. Anyway.
I just don't like Iron Maiden. Yep.
I like Iron Maiden when it's done by somebody else who
yeah.
doesn't sing like an operatic asshole like Bruce Dickinson.
What a dick.
Keep the opera out of my metal. That's all I have to say. But yeah, we played a show with Carlos Danger and Zeal. And since Zeal and Carlos Danger kind of share band members, it's kind of like there were only really 2 different bands there. Except Zeal, they play their own original music. And I actually like them a lot. I enjoyed the super long songs and guitar riffs. And James, as the front man, playing some pretty sick guitar. But he does need to grow his hair out.
Yep.
Because, come on, man. You're whipping your hair around it's a much better feeling when there's actually like more than just an inch or two there. Take it from someone who knows. When I went to the Meshuggah show with CP, he was like, after the show, he was saying how he was headbanging so much that he's like, man, shows like this are the reason why I have my hair as long as I do. This is pretty cool. I remember having short hair, and then as soon as I started to let it grow out and I started headbanging, I'm like, this is way better. Holy shit, I understand now.
I think it's way better.
I think I could be a better actor than that guy on Sons of Anarchy.
Well, he's got a pretty nice butt, though.
I will just show you my butt and then act, and then you will think the same of me.
It's true, though. He's got a really nice butt. Ladies, listening, like, comment, and subscribe if you think Jax has a nice butt. I have no idea what his real name is. Charlie or something?
Charlie Hunnam.
Hunnam. Charlie Hummus.
Hummus
Oh, you
ass.
made hummus too, right? Didn't you?
Yeah, there's hummus
Fuck
in
yeah. God, I don't want to drink this. Ugh!
I'll drink it for you, but...
No, I'm gonna power through it.
Alright.
I'm gonna start crying.
Yeah, Zeal opened up the show on Friday.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that.
No, yeah, you were just getting off of work, so
Yeah.
you missed that part, but...
I tried to get off early, but whatever, I don't fucking care.
Zeal was cool. And then Carlos Danger, they played their cover songs. They were actually going to play... I mean, they did play, but the original set was going to be Zeal, Carlos Danger, Hounds of Innsmouth, for some reason.
Like they were gonna take a break in between or something?
I guess. It sounded like they were just going to basically go like, alright, we're going to keep playing for another 45 minutes, and then Hounds of Innsmouth's going to come on. But, like, considering how much time they took between songs, in reality, we would have gone on at, like, 11:30 and there would have been nobody left in the bar.
Which is
Like-
what happened for them.
Which is what happened for them, but at least, 3 different bands got to play.
Yep.
So we ended up... I suggested it to John, who was kind of acting as liaison to the bands, but just let us go on in between the Carlos Danger acts so then we can be kind of like the intermission band and won't take so long. And then we'll still have something of a crowd there. It worked out okay for us. I mean, it's fine. We still actually... I was surprised how many people stuck around during our act, but the bar was still relatively full. And then once we were done, the bar kind of emptied out, and Carlos Danger had to play another set, and even we left because we were just fucking tired. Bless you.
Thank you.
I know I was tired as hell. But it was a good show for certain things. A couple of our songs kind of got fucked up from one band member or another, and just didn't sound very well, or very good at all. But some of the songs sounded okay for the most part. The main event that happened that night, though, was the head injury to John.
Yep.
So, heads up to those of you out there who want to start a band. I would like to make a small suggestion. Try, before you get picked up by a big record company, or before you even release an album, to play most of your shows sober. Because I feel like if you're sober, you might know what you're doing a little bit better.
Really? Is that how that works?
You might actually be more aware of your surroundings. You might not do stupid things that then throw off everybody else in the band who doesn't know what the fuck you're doing.
Sorry, I have allergies. I have to blow my nose.
My public service announcement continues. Stay fucking sober until you actually make it big. Then you get addicted to drugs and fuck up your life.
Yeah.
Because holy shit, man. It helps when everybody's on the same fucking page. And also aware of their surroundings so that they don't headbang into a glass that someone is handing you to try and cool you down and do you a favor. Essentially, to give you the details of the story, Tony, from Carlos Danger, was nice enough to let John use his amplifier and all of his pedals for his guitar and
All his pedals.
all of his pedals. I mean, not all 20 were there, but the 5 that he chose to use for that show. And he just brought over a glass of water, and John was sloshed,
Not paying attention.
not paying attention to his surroundings, and decided that that was the best moment to headbang real hard, and
Into the glass.
his face went straight into the glass that Tony was holding. He dropped the glass, the water went everywhere, all over the equipment. And at first everybody was just kind of pissed at John.
I didn't even realize what had happened
Well, yeah, it was
until I looked up.
it was dimly lit and stuff. Like, Nick didn't even know what happened until after the show was over.
No, I know.
But essentially, John gave himself a nice old gash in his forehead from slamming his face into a glass. And
But he still kept playing.
he did. He made it all the way through that song. He didn't stop playing at all. And they actually, like, that song and the next song sounded really good because of how angry and in pain he was.
Like all the adrenaline.
Yep, he was just so upset. But it sounded way better. And then we played Corpse Cuisine.
Oh, that sounded like... Ugh.
That sounded like dog shit.
That was
because
not okay.
somebody was doing something that the rest of the band was not sure what was going on. And then
Nick was getting a drink of water.
he was getting a drink of water, and then
he was just like banging on one of his cymbals.
yeah, he was trying to get several members of the crowd enthusiastic while we were all kind of like, well, we're going to keep going with John because he kind of starts this song.
Oh, God.
How's that beer?
It like lingers on your tongue. On your taste buds.
Do you have to let it linger?
I mean, I'm trying not to, but...
Do you have to? Do you have to?
I don't have to, it's just happening!
Yeah. Anyways, Corpse Cuisine did not sound very good.
I kind of feel like at B Street it didn't sound very good either.
Yeah, well, that didn't sound very good at that show either. I think it sounded pretty good when we played at the little dive bar in Redwood City
Yeah.
on Sunday.
Yeah, that was a good show.
That was a very good show.
Every time I see your shirt now, it makes me want sushi because of that guy.
I know, right? It's like a Pavlovian thing that just kind of...
Ugh!
I'm wearing my Gojira shirt from the show that we saw with Mastodon and Gojira.
Masta.
Masta of the Dons.
Yep.
But one time, Megan and I went out to dinner in a sushi place around the area, and this one guy just, who didn't really seem like the type that
Nope.
would listen to Gojira, just happened to ask me if it was a Gojira shirt that I was wearing. Sure enough, it was. It's the very shirt I'm wearing right now.
Yep.
And then I also enlightened him on the fact that Gojira is the Japanese way of saying Godzilla. And then his kids that were at the table said that sounds like a lizard. I'm like, well, wouldn't you know, little kids?
Yeah.
You're actually kind of accurate there.
Fucking born in 2011.
Yeah. One of them was, yes. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah. This shirt will be synonymous with sushi now, and apparently
Yes.
children born in 2011.
I want some sushi. Fuck. Crunchy Philadelphia roll? Yes. So delicious.
Yeah.
And at least more filling than the shit we had for dinner. Not that I'm ungrateful. Thank you for
No.
paying, Mother.
Thank you very much. It was still tasty.
Yeah.
The chicken was good.
Yes. I like chicken, though.
And the pizza was fine, but, you know, it's kind of like, I want more than one slice.
Yeah.
Pizza. Well, I had two, and it still wasn't enough. Because I'm a fat ass.
I don't think you're fat. The meatballs were good, too.
Yeah. I haven't had your mom's meatball dinner, though.
No, yeah. I haven't had it in a while, so... I was like, what? You have a meatball dinner? Just make the friggin' taco casserole! Oh my god, it's so good! Ugh.
I make taco casserole every once in a while. With that ceramic pot that my mom gave me for Christmas.
No, you don't understand what I'm talking about.
No, I know. I know that I don't know.
Fucking delicious.
And shepherd's pie.
Ooh, I like that. I wish we had like lamb or something though for that. We'll just go to Fiddler's Green.
Yeah, now.
Let's go right now.
Since you're still hungry.
Yes, let's go right now.
Cut this podcast short.
It's time for food.
It's time for more food.
More.
I do love some shepherd's pie. It takes a lot of effort and time, but it's funny. I tell everybody this because they comment on how they see me cooking in this house, but I'd never cooked before I moved out of my parents' house. Like, I had no formal training. I mean, my mom, like, sat in the kitchen and watched my mom cook from time to time, but she didn't, like, drag me into the kitchen and say, like, learn how to cook. Watch me. I kind of just volunteered myself from time to time. But I still didn't really spend that much time in there to pick up on much. So a lot of what I do is just kind of eyeball my ingredients and kind of go off of what I've watched on Food Network. And it's like I learned from osmosis, more or less. But that's why I don't bake.
Hey, that was better.
Yeah.
I took a little bit of the whiskey before and kind of mixed it around in my mouth with the beer.
That's good. At least
That-
you found a solution.
That was more tolerable. Yes, I bake, and I need to do that tomorrow. I'm thinking of maybe going to, Walgreens or something and seeing if there's like fucking red, white, and blue M&Ms or something, because they usually have that kind of shit.
It's true.
Making just, little sugar cookies or some shit. Although I asked at work, because I was, I'll make cookies. Do you guys have any requests? And actually a bunch of people are asking for my pumpkin or, banana chocolate bread, whatever the fuck it was.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm too lazy to do that. I don't have bananas.
And we don't have any ripe bananas, like uber ripe.
Well, you can put them in the oven to make them ripe.
Oh, yeah.
To ripen faster, I guess.
Hmm.
But I don't want to have to do with that, so.
Suck it, coworkers.
Yep, you guys are gonna have to wait. I don't know, I don't really like baking during the summer. Is that weird?
No.
Like, it's definitely more of a fall thing for me.
Well, fall is supposed to be kind of colder, and because of the fact that the summer is typically warmer, even though this past year in California has been fucking bizarre as shit.
It was actually really warm today.
It was.
But you also work in Sunnyvale, so.
Yeah, it's about 20 degrees warmer over there.
Yeah.
I'm getting used to 90-degree weather, so I must
Oh,
be getting
no.
old, so therefore we should probably move to Florida soon.
Can we just move to Portland? That's a place that people retire to.
Well, we'll check. We'll do some real estate shopping when we're up there in the summer. I look forward to going to the Lovecraft bar that is apparently there.
Oh,
I already
where?
looked up the location of
You
where
did?
it is. Yeah.
Ooh.
The main
Oh my
thing.
God.
The main thing that I hear about Portland is that their public transportation is really good there. So
We won't have to rent a car.
yeah,
Or, well, no, wait, we have a car.
yeah,
What the fuck am I talking
we're
about?
road tripping, but
Shut up. Burp.
just basically means that I won't have to worry about fucking driving anywhere once we get there, since we're gonna be spending a couple nights.
Yeah, it's just called the Lovecraft Bar.
Yep. Bunch of Lovecraft themed drinks, and apparently they play metal and
Yeah, it says it's... Okay, this is from Yelp. It says... Oh, wait, it's a review, so...
oh boy, here we go.
Yeah. I don't... Apparently it's in the industrial district, so there you go.
Uh-huh.
Jesus Christ, I don't want the fucking Yelp app. Go! Some person just wrote, the pentagram thing on the ceiling is fucking awesome.
Oh, okay.
What? So this person wrote, one of the best goth alternative hangouts in Portland. easy to meet new friends at this relaxed bar, inspired by author H.P. Lovecraft's Cthulhu mythos. Every first Friday of the month is a no-cover gothic party club. Sorry, club party. I'm dyslexic. Cool. This guy's band played there, so you guys know. You guys can play there at some point, maybe.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have new demos by the time we go up there. Just drop those off. Yeah, we've talked a lot about just random shit so far. Let's try and rein it in a bit. What have you been listening to, girlfriend? Not that I didn't ask you this question on a previous recording already, but...
So, the other day I was listening to Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
And then the day before I was listening to Stevie Nicks. And then the day before I was listening to Fleetwood Mac. And also, just really randomly, some trance music. Because I was cleaning our bedroom and I just wanted something in the background that didn't have distracting singing attached to it. I don't know. And then also Glassjaw, of course, because they're my favorite band.
Aside from Nine Inch Nails.
Right. But,
That's it.
yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I've been listening to mostly atmospheric stuff that I can listen to in the background while I'm at work. And I just zone out a little bit. But some other stuff too. I've been listening to Tesseract, a gent band, gent being the genre that was more or less created by Meshuggah. It's known for kind of having its heavy bass lines and kind of... Tesseract, it sounds like animals as leaders for the most part, mainly because the low notes that are hit, it sounds like an eighth string on a guitar. But I like them. They're pretty cool. They got some clean vocals, and I'm actually partial to clean vocals. Part of the reason why I kind of I have a soft spot for hardcore music, even though most of it is terrible in my opinion. I still kind of like listening to it from time to time for the clean vocal stuff. So Tesseract, pretty cool band. If you like Meshuggah, but you want something that's a little bit softer, check them out. Dead Letter Circus was another one that I listened to. Even more clean vocals, and even lighter. It's not gent. It's like Nine Inch Nails meets, I don't know. I had an analogy for them and I can't fucking remember it. Doesn't matter. They're kind of cool. Just look them up on YouTube if you want something that's kind of light and easy to listen to. And then I was also listening to Devin Townsend, who used to be the singer in Strapping Young Lad, who's now pretty much doing his own thing. I actually didn't know that he was doing his own thing since Strapping Young Lad until about last year, when I saw his band play for Gojira as kind of like the band before them. And it was pretty cool. He had just released the album that has the song Grace on it. I know that you don't know what it is, but the internet may. He's recently done a compilation with, I guess, a pop singer called Casualties of Cool. That's what we were listening to earlier. And I kind of like it. It's got some country riffs on the guitar, and I don't really like country music. For the most part, I kind of utterly despise the pop country that is all over the radio these days. And most country before that I didn't really like too much, but I always liked the guitar aspects of country music. I like the notes.
And banjos.
And banjos. I love banjos and hollow body guitar sounds. I think that stuff sounds great. So, the Devin Townsend thing, just look up Casualties of Cool. It's pretty cool for atmospheric stuff. And kind of light. I know a lot of people actually kind of give Devin Townsend a hard time just because of the fact that he went from something as radical and as heavy as Strapping Young Lad to what he's doing now, but I don't know. I'm okay with metalheads kind of cooling off and doing something soft, whatever the hell they like doing, so.
Well, yeah, they're not so linear that they only do that one thing.
Yeah. I don't know. People are petty.
I don't know. You're a fucking person. Like, you like different things. Like,
Yeah. I enjoy listening to classical music.
I feel like that would be more extreme if you were like, yeah, I listen to metal, but I also like to listen to Justin Bieber. I don't know, something like on the way opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Don't worry, folks. He doesn't listen to Justin Bieber.
I don't actually know any of his songs.
What about Baby, Baby, Baby?
I've only heard that like 3 times in my life so far.
I don't think I've ever heard it all the way through.
That's good. I've only heard it when I've been in like a Red Robin for some reason. So, for whatever reason, they chose to play that song. Same with like any fucking Miley Cyrus songs. I actually don't know what they sound like for the most part. Which is nice. I prefer
Yeah.
it that way.
I only know what her Party in the USA song sounds like.
Mm.
Because I think it was on like a...
It was one of those top 10s.
Yeah, it was like on a work CD or something.
Now, I don't actually listen to Adele.
Ooh, I don't like her.
I'm not forced to listen to her, so...
We had to listen to her during Skyfall.
It's true.
That fucking movie.
Yeah. Not the best Bond film. It got a lot of praise, too. Like, a lot of people thought it was, like, one of the best Bond films, and I heartily disagree.
Yeah.
Let's get into this, girlfriend.
Okay.
Let's fucking tear this movie down.
Alright.
Because fuck that shit.
And I mean, I had really high expectations because I really liked the first 2 Daniel Craig movies. And so this was before that I had seen the rest of the James Bond movies.
Right, you were kind of a James Bond virgin before you started dating me.
Yeah, I mean, I had never seen any James Bond movies. I only knew the references because of Austin Powers.
Right.
So I had never seen any of the James Bond movies, and I cut my teeth with you watching the Daniel Craig versions.
Right. So we started with Casino Royale, which I think is the best Daniel Craig one.
That's the one with, what's her name, right? Vesper?
Yes,
I
Vesper.
like her a lot.
Mm-hmm. Vesper with the Martin that gets trashed. Me.
Austin Martian.
Austin Martian, the villain that cries blood, and the naked Daniel Craig who gets busted in the balls.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good scene.
That would suck. I'm glad I don't have balls.
Yeah, it does suck. But that movie does not. That movie was pretty entertaining. I enjoyed that movie thoroughly when I watched it the first time. It took me a while to watch it. I just never got around to it until my friend Kenny sat me down and said, "Fucking watch it." And then I watched Quantum of Solace. And then I showed it to you. And you don't remember that movie.
Yeah, I don't. I was just thinking about it, like, which one is that?
Not a whole lot happens in that movie of significance. Like, there's a lot of stuff that happens, but the thing is that none of what happens really feels like it has any sort of reference in terms of the total plot of that movie. Essentially, it's about oil, somehow, as well as about rich people and corrupt dictators and revenge. You can put all those themes in there that you want. But essentially, it's just Daniel Craig going after some rich dude that is supposed to... He kind of looks like Mark Anthony to me. But he's like Mark Anthony if he ran a $1 billion oil corporation in the desert somewhere. And it has like some climactic scene and places falling apart and on fire and stuff. But it doesn't matter because that movie is just kind of, it's not boring, but you
Borderline.
you just kind of walk away going, I don't know what the fuck happened. So then there's Skyfall,
Blech.
and as you said, you watched that before you watched the rest of the James Bond movies.
Yeah.
Which I have on Blu-ray because I decided I like the James Bond movies, mostly the Sean Connery ones and also the Pierce Brosnan ones. I might as well just get those, so I bought them on Amazon. The Blu-ray collection doesn't have all of the James Bond ones, but it has all the official ones by the MGM and Robert Broccoli, all that crap. It's missing like Never Say Never Again and several others that were not officially James Bond, but you know, whatever. Copyright bullshit. But before we watched those, we watched Skyfall and Javier Bardem. That's his name.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was a great job as a villain. He obviously had some practice from doing No Country for Old Men, but I think he's a fantastic villain in that movie.
Yeah.
He was really compelling, and the first scene where you meet him, I think, is a great scene out of that movie, especially because of the fact that he comes on to James Bond, and James kind of obliges in a certain way, in a very coy way. And I thought that was a great exchange, and I think that he's really a good actor for villain roles. I think that he's like the next Gary Oldman, in that he's like able to play a gentleman, but a very menacing gentleman.
I haven't seen him in anything else. I haven't seen No Country for Old Men.
Well, he's not a gentleman in that.
Well, yeah.
But like just what he did in Skyfall is enough to convince me that he's capable of doing kind of the sophisticated villain. Unfortunately, the rest of Skyfall was just so boring and so bland. Like first of all, before you even see Javier Bardem,
Which is like halfway through the movie.
which is the halfway point of the movie, it still felt like we watched the entire movie.
Yes.
It felt like we'd watched 2 hours worth of movie, but turns out we'd only watched an hour and a half because it was like a 3-hour movie. I don't know fucking how long it was, but it felt very long by the point you finally see the villain. Which, you know, is fine when you're building up the villain, but it kind of sucks when the villain's ultimate plan is lame. But before we get to that, I'm getting ahead of myself. The main theme of this whole movie, it seemed to be, was just how old,
We should watch it again and just count how many times they say old.
or just how many times that theme comes up. But basically, they
And
keep
drink.
talking about how old James Bond is in that movie, which is weird considering the fact that we're still doing the Daniel Craig ones, and it's supposed to be kind of his origin story, because at the end of the movie, they finally show who Moneypenny is, and Moneypenny is kind of this iconic character who's supposed to be at the beginning of James's career. So, James is old before he's even old? I don't know. It's dumb, and it's annoying more than anything else. Like, they fucking mention it a lot.
We rolled our eyes quite a lot.
Like, okay, no, we get it. No, we get it. Oh, okay. We're gonna mention that he's old again. Yeah. Yeah, we'll have to watch it again and see how many times they actually mention how old James is. Because, holy crap, they mention it a lot. All the way through the rest of the movie, too. Like, it doesn't even stop in the beginning half. Regardless, like, it still had some good action sequences and stuff, but...
Oh yeah, like the Home Alone traps.
Yeah, well... That was where it also went off the rails for me. Like, so... Like Prometheus, Skyfall became one of those movies that kind of... It stopped making sense at a certain point, and it kind of built up so much stuff that it could only go downhill. So they built up Javier Bardem's character, and he was great to see on the screen, And they built him up so much that it's like he has this brilliant plan. And he's been planning this for generations. He's the best planner ever. And you're like, okay, I'm ready for this. What's it gonna be?
Ugh.
And instead it ends up turning out that his entire plan is just to storm this courtroom scene. And you're like, what, really? That was it? That was your big thing? Like, you have
I thought
all
he
these distractions and you just storm into a courtroom to shoot somebody.
Oh, yeah, okay. Was he trying to shoot M?
Yeah,
Spoiler alert!
whatever.
He doesn't do it. Spoiler alert.
It's just fucking annoying. Like, the fact that they built up this whole plot. Like, you know, when you watch a fucking heist movie, you watch Inception or something,
Ooh.
and half the movie is the plan and the other half is the execution, and then, you know, things go wrong.
Like they do.
But then you have to improvise and change things. So, for this, they kept alluding to the fact that it's all a part of the plan. And everything's going and fitting into place. You're like, oh shit, what's he gonna do next? Oh, he's gonna kick down the door and then try to shoot at M. Okay. That was it? So, needless to say, I was fucking disappointed by that part. And then the remaining 45 minutes of the movie, because it still wasn't over, was Home Alone 007.
Yep.
Which was a little weird. And it's still, the pacing was weird in that part. It was a really nice house that had to get destroyed for some reason. And then, you know, I do all the wrapping shit up and saying like, oh yeah, it's still the beginning of James's career, even though he's supposedly in his 40s, even though the books say that he's supposed to be 29. And holy shit. Does Roger Moore come back?
Yeah.
So anyways,
What was he in recently that we saw?
Roger Moore?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't recently, but we watched the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie,
That's what it was.
The Quest. He was in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we watched a bunch of the James Bond movies after we watched the Daniel Craig ones because of the Blu-ray collection. We started from the beginning chronologically and worked our way up, back up to Casino Royale. We haven't watched Quantum of Solace or Skyfall since. But, I don't know, of the James Bond movies that you watched out of that collection, which ones stood out to you?
Honestly, I have no idea. I
Yeah.
have no idea what any of them are called. No idea what order they go in.
Just all
Couldn't tell you.
all blend together, huh?
Yep. So I have no idea.
Well, all right. Well, then, who's your favorite James Bond?
I like Sean Connery because he's just the original and he, just really fleshed out the character. And I also really like Timothy Dalton because I think he's fucking attractive.
Naturally.
And I like Daniel Craig because I also think he's really attractive. But definitely, and that goes for most people. When you say 007, you immediately think of Sean Connery.
Yeah.
Except for kids born in 96.
You definitely put the face to the name.
Yeah.
I think, well, having not watched some of the James Bond movies prior to enjoying the entire collection, I still think Sean Connery is the best James Bond. I think that Dr. No and From Russia with Love are
Those
the two.
are the first two, right?
Those are the first two, and I think those are the best two. Because Dr. No is kind of like, it's not super spy-ish. It's kind of more down and dirty. And then I feel like From Russia with Love starts getting into the more espionage type of thing, but it's still not over the top. Like after that, like Goldfinger on, they started getting into like more of the gadget kind of comic book style stuff,
Well,
which is still entertaining, but I just I like kind of the seriousness that kind of goes with Dr. No and From Russia with Love, so.
Well, yeah, the Roger Moore ones are definitely fucking goofy and off the wall.
Yeah, the Roger Moore ones are ridiculous. Entertaining in their own rights, some of them. Some of them are barely watchable in my opinion. But like the one with Christopher Walken, that was entertaining enough. That one still stands out in my mind, at least.
Was that the one with Grace Jones as well?
Yes.
We should do like a top 10
Top 10
James Bond
James Bond.
movies and then James Bond girls.
Yeah.
'Cause I mean,
Finally got
Top-
rid of
top
all the
10
blondes.
top 10 James Bond hotel rooms.
Yeah, that was one of the things that you were
Yes.
like drink every time he's in a hotel room, and
I just really loved looking at the different hotel room sets that they created because it was always there was always a theme depending on where they were, and you know there was always a color scheme and the decorations. I don't know. I really like interior design sort of things, and that was always interesting to me. And then the James Bond girl outfits were always a pleasure to look at.
yeah. Well, I think it was so for the actors who played James Bond, there was Sean Connery, and he went for quite a while, up until You Only Live Twice, and then he was replaced
I forget his
by
name.
George Lazenby.
Oh yeah.
I think it was George.
I don't. Okay.
His last name's Lazenby. He did one film,
Yeah, that one.
Her Majesty's Secret Service. That movie sucks balls, dude. Like,
B to the A to the L to the L to the S.
that movie is terrible.
L
I don't-
relay.
I don't know if I've ever watched that one before.
Apparently not, because
It all seemed very unfamiliar to me, and it was unpleasant. It was a very boring
boring.
movie. It was so boring.
And it ended in such an un-James Bond-like manner.
It was like all emotional at the end.
Yeah.
And we had like no connection to these people at all.
I really didn't care.
It was like okay, but then they call back to it every once in a while. Like it, I'm not sure if it was one of the books that was actually written, but it felt like it was supposed to be a much more important and kind of, you know, impactful story for his character, and it's kind of unfortunate that that movie sucked so hard, because it probably would have made him more of a person as opposed to the iconic James Bond, whatever. It was just a really boring fucking movie, and it's a slog to get through. I never want to watch it again, unless I am forcing other people to watch it and be as unhappy as I was.
Yeah. I
For
mean,
2
there's
hours.
some silly parts, but
There were, but not worth it.
yeah.
And he wanted to do his own stunts too. He got injured. Regardless, the actor didn't want to be James Bond after doing that movie, so then they called back Sean Connery to do Diamonds Are Forever, which was not a pleasant movie to watch either.
I don't remember any of these.
That was the one with the girl that you liked at the beginning of the movie, but then turned out to be a complete ditz by the end of the movie, when he like swapped the tapes out and then put one in her bikini, and then they were like on an oil rig for a while,
What was her name? Tiffany Case?
I guess.
Was she the redhead?
Yes.
Yeah.
That movie, like that's kind of the turning point in the James Bond franchise, I feel. Like some of them are, like Goldfinger changed it from being like spy espionage to more comic book hero type thing, but Diamonds Are Forever was when it started getting sort of goofy, and then Roger Moore stepped in after that one and did Live and Let Die.
Oh, fuck.
And that one's pretty goofy from the start anyways, and has a really long boat chase scene.
Yeah.
And then the next movie had a long boat chase scene, and then the next movie did too, I believe.
But, you know, what's his face liked boats?
Yeah.
What's his face?
Roger Moore?
Oh, the writer.
Oh. God. Why am I blanking on his name? Well, I mean, we've been drinking, but come on. We both watched like a documentary about him too.
Fuck.
Ian Fleming.
There you go.
Ian Fleming really liked boats
And skiing.
and skiing. There are actually a lot of skiing things in James Bond as well.
Yeah, that's why I said and skiing.
Yeah. I mean, Live and Let Die, it's an entertaining enough movie. It's Vince's favorite. But, I don't know. I think Roger Moore is fine, but, like, I don't like the Roger Moore movies that much, so.
Yeah, I think Roger Moore is entertaining because he's just... He delivers those puns so well. I think we should also do, like, a top 10 favorite or best James Bond, like, opening credit songs. Or closing, whatever, like, the main song of the movie.
Theme song, yeah.
Because...
Goldfinger!
I love the Garbage song.
Yeah.
And the Madonna song. But I love the 90s, so...
So after Roger Moore came Timothy Dalton.
He's pretty attractive.
Do you remember the name of the movie?
Nope. What?
Well, it's like he only did 2. License to Kill was the one that everybody thought was like the worst James Bond movie ever. And then, but there was one before that he did that you and I both thought actually was pretty good. It was the last one with a blonde Bond girl as the main Bond girl anyways. I don't remember what it was called. Well, Timothy Dalton, I thought he was actually a pretty good fit for James Bond. It's a shame that the second movie got such a bad rap. It was a bad movie. License to Kill was very stupid. It was very much like Commando meets James Bond for some reason, in terms of its 80s niche. Niche?
Yep.
Fish. This is a bad movie. But I thought it was way more entertaining than Of Her Majesty's Secret Service. So, take that as you will. And after that came GoldenEye, Pierce Brosnan, and all the Pierce Brosnan movies are the ones that I grew up on, and I like them in their own way. I am partial to Tomorrow Never Dies just because of how stupid the villain is as a psycho journalist who enjoys writing stories but writing them poorly. He's like Alan Wake, but, you know, as a journalist. And Michelle Yeoh was in that, and she was like one of the first competent Bond girls.
Yeah.
Wasn't always getting into jams who needed to be rescued.
Is there, like, this is off topic, but is there, like, some Cthulhu thing going on today? Because this is a separate t-shirt site, and it's another Cthulhu shirt.
I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
I had a Cthulhu dream.
Really?
Yeah, recently it was like a tribe of people in the woods trying to summon an elder god using my parents as a sacrifice.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I've had a couple kind of Lovecraftian dreams over my years. They always stick with me a little bit more than regular dreams.
Oh really?
Yep. Because they're fucking weird and horrifying usually. One of them was like I was on an island somewhere and then suddenly the island came alive and became like flesh and tentacles started sprouting and converting people into flesh monsters. And it was kind of crazy.
Okay.
Yep. I have no idea what the fuck was happening in my mind that night.
Yep.
Yeah. So we talked about James Bond a lot. We watched any movies lately that were of any interest? We watched Legend not too long
I love
ago.
that movie.
The classic from 1985 with Tom Cruise and Tim Curry, directed by Ridley Scott. You like that movie because it has a lot of glitter.
Yep. I do like glitter.
I like that movie because it has Tim Curry.
Yes. Tim Curry's pretty badass in that.
I mean, that movie is like so paper thin in terms of plot. Like, there's really no one says anything. Like, you could watch that entire movie on mute and still gather about as much information as you need.
That's quite true. I never thought of it that way.
But it's all about kind of, like, as I was telling people in the room, like, it's all about the makeup, the costumes, and the stages and sets. That's what you're watching the movie for. You're not watching it for acting, you're not watching it for plot. No, I like that movie.
I love that movie.
It's too bad that, Prometheus wasn't a better movie. Because I feel like Prometheus has just as thin of a plot, but is way more up its ass.
Well.
Yeah. There's somebody at my work, not my current job, but a previous job, whom I liked and respected, but she said that she liked Prometheus, but she didn't like Blade Runner. And I was like, we're gonna have some problems here. And I don't even actually remember what her argument was. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion anyway, but I just couldn't wrap my head around why you could dislike Blade Runner but like Prometheus instead. Prometheus is one of those movies where it's unlimited potential. Like, as you're watching it, you feel like it could go in so many different places, in so many interesting ways, and it ends up just being what it is, which is not very good. And it's a spectacle for the eyes. I think the special effects are great, and, Michael Fassbender is great.
He's pretty attractive.
But, like, everybody else in the movie just sucks. They're all archetypes of characters. Doesn't even matter what their profession is. There's no way for you to get immersed in what's happening to these people. And, I don't know, the plot devices are just dumb. A lot of unanswered questions that are necessary questions. Like, that's the main thing that I have a problem with it and what I attribute to it. It's okay for movies to have like questions that go unanswered, so long as they're not necessary questions. Like, they're not pivotal to the plot. Because, having unanswered questions makes you more involved as a reader / watcher / viewer, etc. You become involved in what's going on, and you kind of want to know more, and you're intrigued by it. But Prometheus, poses these questions throughout the movie in very explicit ways and doesn't answer them. Yet it answers other questions that nobody fucking asked. Like, father. You needed to fucking know that. Never mind the whole fucking plot point that apparently this is an alien planet where they conducted experiments to create weapons to destroy mankind, but then they left clues on how to get here. Why the fuck would they leave clues on how to get to a planet that they were using to destroy us? What the fuck? Father! So I think we're going to take a break. We'll come back to this later. We have more to talk about.
Right.
See you guys in a bit.
Right.